What date is it today? When I get a money pajama.
Day 15. Lockdown.
Pika!
Day 15.
Pika! Day 15 of lockdown. Okay.
Hello and welcome back to our platform. For everyone who's subscribed and liked the page, we'd like to say thank you very much. And we hope that we can keep things interesting.
Yes, I agree.
Yes.
So today we're going to be talking about how we ended up engaged, accidentally engaged. It was not by design,
Wow.
but it was a mere accident how we ended up engaged and eventually getting married. You didn't know?
Wow.
Yeah, it was by accident. And then I think the number one question that we always get when it comes to engagement was, how did we know that we wanted to get married, and how exactly did I propose or she propose? Because we haven't revealed who did the actual proposing yet, right? So let's start with how we knew.
Okay, you go.
Who proposed? Okay, I proposed. Okay, guilty. I did propose to her and asked her to be my wife, if she'd like to be my wife. And I think on my end, how did I know that I wanted to spend the rest of my life with you? It's a tough question, eh? I decided really, it wasn't, I just didn't go based on my feelings that I wanted to propose. It's a decision that I had to make. I remember sitting at the office one day and I just decided, you know what, why not ask this girl to be my wife? Because you remember I used to get so mad when we were hanging out and then you had to go back home. And I was there feeling like, yo, I'm your home. Oh, what do you mean you want to go home? Like, and that thing never really sat well with me. So one day I was just thinking about, because I keep saying that I'm your home, you are my home. Why not just make it permanent and take that leap of faith? Because for every guy out there who's thinking of getting engaged, you will never get to a point where you are 100% sure that, you know what, I'm ready to be locked down. I wanna settle down and be married. So when I did ask you if you wanted to be my wife, what was going through your head? What were you thinking?
It's scary.
Yeah.
Number one.
Forever is a long time.
Yeah, but I think that wasn't what scared me.
Mm-hmm.
What scared me was the fact that I'd already spent so much time with you.
Mm-hmm.
And at the time, I didn't know how we were going to manage, like, being engaged and then not being together, not being able to see each other.
Mm-hmm.
So I was more scared about how do we get engaged and then I'd leave, and then how do we manage that?
Yeah, long distance.
Yeah.
Because you're working outside the country. Yeah, that was scary, because it eventually meant we were now fiancé, and then you moved out of the country. So that was scary. Just
and I'd gotten used to seeing you, like,
every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was weird.
Hmm.
But on the knowing part, I think we jokingly discussed marriage. I remember.
Yeah. While we're dating.
When you know, it's weird when someone says when you know you know.
Yeah, that's what everybody says.
That's what everybody says. But, like, there's this
intuitive feeling.
Yeah, let's call it that.
Yeah.
How are you willing to bet your life on someone? Because that's basically what being married to someone is.
Yeah.
You're willing to bet your life on that person. You're willing to say, through thick or thin, I'm willing to try work things out. I'm willing to stick it out. So we'd known each other since 2015.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't remember how long it was, but we manage conflict or arguments quite well.
Mm-hmm.
So we thought the longer and harder you think about marriage, then it scares you. But it was just basically involving the government, but things would just be the same. Just that you involve the government, but everything else remains the same.
Yeah, in a way, yeah.
So, I didn't think too much of it. I didn't want to scare myself and be like, oh my goodness, one guy, rest of my life,
Same song every day. It's like, That's what people say on social media anyway, which is not true.
So,
but
yeah. Plus, I like you as a person.
Yeah,
so
that's
helps.
important.
That helps.
It's important.
I like you as a person.
I think having your friendship, because we were friends for quite some time, Edward previously mentioned. So having the base of your relationship as a friendship, I think it helped us in such a way where even there are times when we would, raw mana and would be mad at each other. But because she was my friend, I'd kind of be forced to talk to her, even the girlfriend aspect aside, I'd still have to talk to her about, yo, my nigga, what's going on? What are you up to today? And then like, yo, I'm sorry about what happened. Can we reconcile and try to see things from my point of view, or let me try to see things from your point of view? So it was always that the friendship always rescued the relationship in a way. Even when times did get tough, we're friends before anything else. So for me, that really made things easier and more bearable that you are my friend before anything else.
Aww.
My nigga. Yeah, so, and then how did the engagement happen? I'm trying to remind myself. It's one day I'll never forget. I was sitting in the office one day, hot day, and that thought just came to me. I think for me to decide whether I was ready for you to be my wife, in the first 3 months of us dating, I was certain of where I wanted our relationship to go. I feel like every guy knows, if you guys are dating, because the guy is the one who is normally expected to propose. Within the first 3 or 6 months, your guy knows if he's willing to spend the rest of his life with you or not. For me, it was 3 months. After 3 months, I think it also helped that I knew you before then. I knew after 3 months, but you know what, I'd marry this girl.
No, wait.
Hey, other things. Other things. So after 3 months, I knew, and I think when you were going to move outside the country, that's when things really clicked on my end. What are we? What's stopping you from... Okay, let me put it like that.
Wow.
But I felt like I wanted us to be more than just boyfriend and girlfriend, Every time I'd fill out paperwork with the family, I'd see my mother there, my father, my sister, my brother, but there was no girlfriend. So that really bothered me. And I felt like, I think I want to make things official and spend the rest of my life with you. So back to how I proposed. Got the ring, inexpensive ring, by the way, finances was still a problem back then. Not that I'm balling now or boiling. Last money, went and got an engagement ring. Hey, I think we're going to do a separate video about finances, around marriage and just dating and relationships. So went and got an inexpensive ring. I remember I told, who I told? I don't remember if I told my sister, but hey, I'm thinking of going down on one knee and asking this girl to spend the rest of her life with me. Thought about it for about a couple of hours, and then went out, get a ring, and then I knew you were coming over for that weekend. So weekend they were there chilling. I don't remember if it was a Saturday or a Sunday. It was a weekend. We're chilling, and then I initiated an argument. That's how I did it. Initiated an argument. She caught the bait. Went in. Started some low man. Yeah,
are you for real?
Yeah, I did that. And then I saw my man, and then I stood up and went and got the ring.
Wait a minute. I feel like people don't understand. Guys, I went in. What?
I don't want to woman. So she did that. I went and got the ring, and I went down on one knee while she wasn't looking. So when she turned, would you like to spend the rest of your life with me? And promise for you always omanye me on a daily basis. That's what I said. And she broke out in tears, cried. She said yes. I think you were so shocked you didn't know how to react exactly.
This argument thing is unsettling. Why an argument?
I don't know. I wanted theatrics, like the crying. Yeah, I was being dramatic. So that's how it happened. And yeah, just like that, we're engaged to be married. I think from dating to marriage, how long was that?
7 months.
7 months. We dated for 7 months and then got engaged.
No, engagement was 7 months.
Oh, no, I meant from the time that we're dating and then eventually being engaged. How long was that?
How long was it? Wait.
A year? Yeah, the deed keeper in this.
A year and some months.
A year and some months.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't know how many months, but a year and some months.
Yeah, and then from being engaged to being married was 7 months. Yeah. So that's how it happened for us. And I know, people have different stories of how they knew they want to spend the rest of their life with somebody. Baba Mweke, circumstances force you. I mean, if you've been dating somebody for Boma 5 years, 6 years, up to about 10 years, come on. It's the next step, Yeah, but I think for me personally, I prefer the liberty or the freedom to choose and make a decision. Because the way I rationalize things now in my life is I need to make conscious decisions about things that are going to change my life forever. I don't want to find myself in a situation where because I've been with you for this long, now we have to get engaged. I've been with you for this long, now we need to do this, as the next step. I want to consciously make decisions that I can look back and say, can I decided I wanted to be in this situation, you know what I mean? Yeah, so it's always, been how I want to live my life, and so far so good. It works for me.
And I think back to how we knew. Now that I think about it, initially, like a week into knowing you, we were pretty comfortable around each other.
Yeah.
Like you'd tell me anything.
Yeah.
Literally anything. So I think, okay, I don't know. But it feels like we got comfortable with each other, like very naturally. Like which is weird.
Yeah, because you don't easily make friends. She doesn't easily make friends. So yeah, it was weird for you and myself as well.
Yeah, because we got so used to seeing each other, so used to having our meals together, to the point I'd come to school, go to classes, hang out, have lunch with him, and then I have to go home because class is over, everything's done.
Yeah.
And then you don't want to leave. Initially you think, okay, this might just be a phase, because everyone likes calling, apparently there's a honeymoon phase. So then everyone likes calling it that. So you think, okay, at some point this will end. And then you're like a year into it and
yeah.
And then no matter how much you argue, I will attest to this, we argue, yes.
Yeah,
and then
a lot.
After 5 minutes, I'm like, say something.
Yeah.
And it's like, you said you wanted space. I'm like, yeah. I said I wanted space. I never said Oscar, please.
Yeah.
So I think it was constantly wanting to have him around. And no matter how much we argue or disagreed, we'd still come back and make up.
Yeah.
So I think that's when, for me, like I knew, okay, this is someone I could spend my life with. Someone who can actually say, okay, we talked through things. I may not have approached the situation the way I should have. So I then realized, okay, so I could learn a lot from him, and he seemed like he was also very open to learning from me. So I think that's how I knew.
Yeah. That sums it up nicely. Phew, what a time, man. I'm just thinking back at it of how things could have gone so differently. And I'm glad they happened the way they did, and the timing was, at the time it didn't seem perfect because we were pretty young, and it seemed very scary having to tell your parents that you're engaged or you want to get married at a certain age. It's not child's play. I think should we talk about that now or save it for the next video? People's reactions to us wanting to get married at that age.
You could.
Okay, so for me, after the engagement, right, I felt it was only right. I remember I officially met your parents after. Was it afterwards?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was after.
But you'd known my mom.
Yeah, I'd known the mom. Mothers always, I had known the mom. Got a mom. Mom used to pick you up at university and so I had known the mom, and I eventually got to know the sisters. But now the dad, who's my dad now as well, getting to meet him was quite interesting because initially when he was told that you wanted to get engaged, you wanted to get married and you're engaged, he didn't believe it. Not at all. I don't even know my daughter to be dating, so you guys can't be telling me that she's now being engaged to.
Which is funny because he's a typical African parent. You can't say I'm going on a date. How about? He's like very typical African. They want you to jump from you can't date as long as you live under my roof, my rules, and then all of a sudden, onyalali.
I'm gonna be that dad as well. So shout out to dad.
So it's weird. Like he didn't believe it. I was like.
So after that, I got to meet dad and those are the questions that I got. Just I think as a dad, I also might, I think I'm gonna be that type of dad as well. So I got to meet him, and I did go approach your sister and let the husband just to tell them, but hey guys, I know you guys might know that I proposed to your sister, but I'd really like your blessing in getting married to your little sister. And what advice do you have for us? How best should we approach the wedding, as in the wedding day, from lobola or mahadi to eventually having the wedding day? How do you guys do it, and how best can we do it as well? And I told my family as well, and my mom said no, by the way. Nah, too young. Marriage for who?
Wow.
No, my mom said straight out, nah, you're too young to get married. We think that's what I was told her. She thought I wasn't serious, And it went on like that for a while. I think now I too went to my uncle and said, hey, Kana, I want to do 1, 2, 3. This is what I have. This is what I don't have. Kana And mom was like, okay, so serious. And then family meetings were called, and then proceedings started. I think the rest of that story I want to save for the the episode we're going to do for Mahadi Pato, the wedding, Kohamalaudi, just that whole part. I want us to have a separate episode on it. But I think generally from my end, my family was quite surprised in a sense that they didn't think I'd get married that young, even though I'd always said it. When my mom talks about it now in retrospect, I remember even at our wedding, as a kid, I'd always said that I wanted to have my own family at a young age. So in retrospect, when I think about it, she knew that I'd always been saying that, but she thought I was playing, So it wasn't easy at all for my family to accept that I wanted to get married at the age that I did when I get married. And you'd get intimidating questions on Alamadi, are you ready to be the head of the household? Do you know what that entails? All of those questions. And eventually, man, I had to stick to my decision and convince them, look, what, by law I could get married without anybody really being engaged. I mean, being engaged. I wasn't threatening. I mean, by law you can. You just need 2 witnesses. You know what I mean? But it's out of respect for our culture and out of respect for the people who raised me that I wanted them to be involved at that stage of my life. So that's why I involved them. And my mom eventually came around. She became like the one person, or the main person who was rallying behind, the whole thing, and it turned out beautifully. I think I'll speak more on that on the next episode. So on your end, how is the reception of Ganyalo Kelabona?
I think initially Papa Nasa dreamed.
He still doesn't believe it.
Papa wasn't like sheer disbelief for it.
Yeah. You haven't even...
Yeah, mom.
Yeah.
He's like, when did you date?
Yeah.
Like it's Oya school.
Yeah. Eh?
He's like, and it was just, it's now his 4th year.
Yeah.
So then Papa's like, alright, like when have you had time to date? You've been going to school.
Yeah. Didn't know I was at school.
But eventually, I think Dad understood. Or he came around. And then Mom's always been supportive. So Mama and
Yeah, Mom knows. She knew me.
Yeah, Mom knew you. And then Boto also knew you.
Yeah.
It's Angie that didn't know you, so she had to get to know you.
Yeah.
Yeah. But they get along.
Yeah, my sisters now. Yeah, those are my people now. Yeah. Yeah, so that was it.
And I think my friends, everyone was just like, yeah.
We saw that coming.
You guys are sickening. It's about time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shoo! The pressures, eh? Hey! But I think we'll end it here. The next episode I want us to talk about, I think just further the conversation on, reactions and, some of the stumbling blocks that we encountered, as well as how now officially things started to move, more in our culture. There are certain things that you need to do if you want to get married, and certain proceedings that you have to initiate and ensure what the cycle completes, But that's it for today. Thank you for everybody. If you've stayed this long to watch this episode, we've been getting so much love on the comments and people subscribing to our YouTube channel and people liking this page on Facebook and also leaving just lovely comments. We do appreciate them. This is going to be as interactive as possible. So if you have any questions for us, do leave them in the comments as well. And today we actually brought people to sets. This is Pikachu. This is mine.